Whoa, hey, what up, AK here. And you're probably wondering, why am I whittling down a piece of wood? A stick? I don't know. Well, no, actually I had a little bit of time, and I decided that I'm going to go ahead and finish this Santana SE made by the Paul Reed Smith Company. If that's something you're interested in, stick around here on the Brooks Single Guitar Show. All right, yeah. I know this is not a conventional way to fix things, but if you recall, a month ago or so, I bought this guitar. It had these P91 style pickups. Basically, they're P90s that fit in a humbucker route. And when I took them out, I decided that, I was going to keep those ones. So we ended up taking them out. But this guitar had a bunch of crazy stuff. As you can see here in the bottom, the strap button was being held by a plastic drywall molly, which, it really makes me think that there was a better way that it could be done. So I whittled down a little piece of a little block of wood and stuck it in there with a bunch of toothpicks and some wood glue, and I just tapped it in there and kind of cleaned it up. It came out a little bit nicer than, And as we've seen before, this is a good way to actually repair screw holes that have been stripped out. With this one, I believe I used just 2 toothpicks, stuck half in, broke it off, and then stuck the other pointy end back in, and maybe 3 toothpicks were used on this, and then you just break them off, and then I tapped it in a little bit with the hammer to make sure that it's all in there snug, and we'll get back to that. And of course, the infamous jar of parts. That's what I'm going to call it from here out. The infamous jar of parts. Everybody's got one, I think. I don't know. I could be wrong. And so I picked out a couple of strap buttons, and let's get started on this Santana SE, licensed by the Paul Reed Smith Company. And to be honest, it actually feels like a Paul Reed Smith. It plays like a Paul Reed Smith. The qualities is really nice in comparison to what you would normally get from China. And as you remember, if you did watch the other video, those P91s that I had gotten on this guitar had been sitting out at a yard sale in the sun, and the wax melted out of the pickups, and it was all over the guitar. If you want to see that video, go ahead, and I'll hit the link up in the corner, and you can get the full story on this guitar. Now, as you notice, when I have wax or items like that, I used a plastic spoon to scrape that off. It did not scratch the finish, and it worked pretty well at taking off some of that gunk. And I am going to be using the cream colored pickup rings because I think they're going to really look good with the zebra stripe humbuckers that we're going to be putting into this guitar. And just standard generic Chinese-made humbuckers. They're not bad, as a matter of fact. They're really nice pickups. They're about the grade of quality that you would get with an Epiphone or a Chinese-made guitar. So we'll stay true to it. Now, originally this guitar came with covered pickups and had the chrome cover plates, and here's a picture of the P90. And the reason why I'm keeping these is because they have the quick connect, which I really like. It's actually called quick plug, and you can interchange pickups with them very, very easy. So I wanted to use that for another guitar, which maybe I could use for the studio, and I could change out pickups real quick and have any sound that I wanted. I just haven't found that guitar yet, but when we do, we'll definitely make a video and get that all put in. And now the zebra stripe pickups came on the actual Paul Reed Smith Santana signature model on one of them, and I believe it had a maple top, a flame maple top, and the zebra style pickups. So I thought I'd put these in to make it kind of look a little bit more like an American-made Santana signature PRS, and so this is what I chose, and I think they look actually really good with the color of the body. And we'll go ahead and get this back taken off, and let's get this puppy hooked up here. I'm really happy to be putting this guitar back together again. It is going to a brand new home for a friend of mine that said he saw this guitar on my video, and he said that he had to have it. It talked to him. Let's check the output on this. Now, these are really hot pickups. The lead pickup is right around the 15 ohms, and this one is about 7.4. And I would imagine combined, they're probably right around the 8 or 9. Now, this is has a steel tremolo bar, and the bridge is also steel, but I believe the saddles are like a brushed aluminum or nickel that is not magnetic. Now, I didn't tighten these down with the screw gun. I just sunk them just before they get tight, and I actually hand tightened everything after I got the strings on, I believe, because I actually wanted it to be kind of a little stiff. This is a guitar that I know that the owner is going to. He doesn't care for tremolo bars. He wants something that's going to be have tuning stability and playability, and not worry so much about having a tremolo, active tremolo or any. So in the end, I did tighten all this down kind of tight, so if you wanted to use the tremolo, it's only going to give a wobbly effect instead of dive bombing or anything like that, which I can imagine would not be good for the tuning stability. And everything on this was wired up to the three-way switch, so that's the way we're going to go with this. And I'm not a guitar repair guy, and I'm not an amp tech. I'm not any of that, as you can see from my last video. But I do know a little bit about soldering, and I can kind of fix electronic things from time to time. And there you go. Let's go ahead and see what these sound like. Okay, now we'll put it in the bridge position. Looks like the tone knob is working. And it's all good to go. And we're going to go ahead and put on some super slinky 9s. And let's get this all stringed up. The new owner is fairly a new guitar player, and I figured it'd be a little bit easier on his fingers to go with 9s. But typically, for me, I personally use 10s on that. Now, I do like the headstocks on these Santana guitars. They look identical to the PRS. The strings line up straight with the tuning pegs, and there's very little break, so there's pretty good tuning stability. And here we go. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this down by hand so we don't strip out any of the screws. And I am just showing you that I did set the radius, but for the most part, how I get to that point is a little primitive, and it's usually by kind of eyesight and you know, just winging it. But for the most part, I have been really good at doing at setting up the radius on most bridges. And there we go, really nice low action, and we'll get those pickups close. And here you go. We'll try a little bit of the tremolo works. Snip these strings, and just remember that if you like videos like this, please hit the like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. I know that I'm not a pro at this. I just figured, since these are the things I do, you know, setting up the tonation and things, I do know how to do that correctly. And I just like to put it out there so you guys can see. If there's a different way that you do things, please let me know. If there's something you'd like to see me do, I would like to know that as well. And also, don't forget, if you live in the United States, I am having a guitar giveaway contest. The page has been growing leaps and bounds since the first of the year. I started this particular show, and I only had 10 subscribers since January 2021, and now I'm a little under 400, but to me that is a huge growth. Because for about 15 years prior, I had only 14 or 15 subscribers, and none of them watched anything that I put up. So I am happy to say that, you know, I'm gonna keep doing this because it's good, clean fun. And we'll go ahead and get these strap buttons on. And yeah, I always kind of put them in with the pre-drill it first, and then put them in by hand with the screwdriver. And there we go. Ready to go. Let's take a listen. right, well, thank you for watching. I do want to remind you to subscribe and leave a comment where you live if you're in the United States. Get in that drawing, win that Harley Benton guitar, and I will see you guys next week on the Broke Single Guitar Show.